जय हिंद यार बिली मित्रों, मैं कैप्टन एनजे सिंह एक बार फिर आपसे जुड़ा हूँ। फ्यू डेज बैक वी गॉट द न्यूज़ that GoAir has gone to NCLT. They were also told to stop selling the tickets from beginning of this month. Just day before yesterday, we got the news that GoAir has been told to start selling the tickets again from 24th of May again. Now, let us understand what is this all game about and how it is going to affect we as a pilot, especially who are looking for a job. I mean, they are going to start their flying career, and also people who are already in different airlines. Now, if you look at my previous videos, I have been saying that GoAir and also SpiceJet has been not on a very strong footing, because the day they start delaying the salary of their pilots or for their employees, that's the first indication that everything is not normal. Anyway, so before I proceed further and make an opinion about how the civil aviation is going, what direction it is going, and how it is going to affect our we as our pilots, our job security and the salary probably. Let me give you three scenarios. The first scenario is, I was sitting in a hotel in Bengaluru. I was on a layover. There was an elderly gentleman sitting on my left. I found that a lot of people who are coming, I could make out they are pilots, because they were wearing either the lanyard of Airbus, or they were carrying a trolley bag with written Airbus 320 or insignia of one of the airlines. I found these guys are coming and wishing him. So I could make out that this guy is a pilot, a senior pilot, and also I could make out he is around 65-70. So that means definitely he is probably finished his flying and he's in a simulator. So my guess was right when I started speaking to him, and his view was this. I'm talking about 6 months back, that airlines will shut down and aviation is not a right place to be in. People have got job, but I don't think it will survive. So a little more of negative biased opinion I had it when I spoke to him. Anyway, that was one scenario. The second scenario was in cruise aviation. When I spoke to my friend who is running the organization Cruise Aviation, he told me there is one guy who and his father are hell-bent upon that they should start flying at the earliest, as if something is going to fall apart. So when my friend spoke to them that what is the reason in such a big hurry, ठीक है आपने सारे एग्जाम पास कर लिए हैं, you are fit to fly, but everything takes time. So their reaction was, market is open, it is going to close down. So there is a sense of I would rather use the word urgency, or sense of unsatisfaction. I won't use the word unsatisfied, but I would rather use the word that दुकान अभी खुली है तभी भी बंद हो जाएगी. That means it can close any time, and the jobs which are available today may not be available tomorrow. So they want to be finish their training fast and be available in the market and probably get into an airline. Second scenario. Okay, third scenario. This was just some time back we got the news, as I've just covered, that GoAir has gone bankrupt, or they have gone to NCLT, that we cannot run the operations and so much money we have owed to the people from whom we have taken the aeroplanes. So there is a problem with us. We cannot probably pay them. Now, if you put all these three scenarios or all these three scenes in a sequence, then you feel that flying is, or civil flying, or becoming a pilot is somewhat, I would rather use the word difficult task, a risky task, where having you spent, or when you already in the process of spending about 50 odd lakh rupees or probably 60 odd lakh rupees, the job security is either not there. You do not know which airline will close down at what time. Now, to answer this, a kind of a scenario which goes in any person's mind, especially if he is starting his flying or is thinking of aviation career, or he is just doing his flying, let me give you. I'll start with a few sentences which I've been using repeatedly in my videos. which first thing I've been saying time and again, India is progressing at 6.5% rate of rate as far as the GDP is concerned. The aviation sector is expanding even faster than that. The number of people who fly in India are not even 2% of the population who should be flying. So if you see all these three things and you compare it with the high income group GDP or country, or with the developed countries, say like USA, where flying is very common, you find there is a long way to go. Also, the number of aeroplanes which India has, approximately 500, 550, and the number of airplanes which should be there depending on the population and the projected say money people will have, or the projected GDP or per capita income, it is going to expand a lot. Third thing, the airlines have already ordered for 450, 470 aeroplanes by Air India, and Indigo also similar kind of figure is likely to come up soon. So if you see these three things, compare it with what I just told you in the beginning, there is total disparity between the two. These last three things that I've just told you, they are indicating towards a very good, healthy, Indian civil aviation where pilots will be in great demand. But at the same time, we find that there are airlines which are closing down. Now, if you compare the two, you find that the structure of civil aviation as of now, which is evolving over a period of time, is such that it's not easy to run airlines because the margins are very thin. You have to be really efficient. On top of that, if you have been hit by pandemic like COVID, then obviously the civil aviation sector affected a lot, because the moment people stopped flying, the rest of the kharcha remains same, the expenditure remains same, no changes. Aeroplane which were on lease, they had to be paid. Pilots, though reduced pay, they had to be paid. The ground staff, they had to be paid. So obviously it put a lot of pressure on the airlines or the tourism industry as such. So with the COVID hitting, and the effects are very visible. So the airlines which were not having much of the safety margins, they starting contracting, and it end up with what we are seeing as far as Go is concerned. Also, the second thing which has hit, especially the GoAir, though it has hit the Indigo in a similar fashion, that is the engine problems. Now, Pratt & Whitney engines have been having some problem which needs the engine subcomponent to be changed. Till that time, that process is complete, the aircraft are grounded, which means that some of the aeroplane are on ground. Now, Indigo is a huge airline. They have lot of, they had lot of backup, or they have lot of backup. Plus, their contract with Pratt & Whitney or with Airbus was such that, especially with Pratt & Whitney, was such that they could, get their reimbursement for grounding of the aeroplane. Also, they had the margins to withstand this lowering or grounding of the aeroplanes. Whereas the GoAir has not been on that sturdy foot that they could extract their due money from Pratt & Whitney. So these two things have put GoAir into a place where they find that they cannot run their operations. So now they have gone to the NCLT. NCLT, that means the NCLT as a board, they have said, okay, whatever the people who were running the show right now, you stop it. They have put another guy in the place. They have told them, take 5 crores, and from 24th you can start booking and let the money flow and let the thing start. Though it has its own repercussions, will people book tickets and believe them that things will happen smoothly? That's a separate question altogether. But whatever said and done, the GoAir as such is not totally out. It is likely to come back, but with different connotations or repercussions on the aviation sector as such. Because people who are going to give the aeroplane to any company in India will charge for more, because they say that we do not know whether the aeroplanes will come back to us or not, whether you will be able to, the company will be able to pay back the money or not. Okay, that being separate. Now when you compare the two, me as a pilot, say I'm a pilot or who's undergoing his flying training or who has just finished his flying training, what lies in front of me when I see this kind of situation? So first thing, the demand is inherent. That means people are, want to fly. The number of aeroplanes which are available in the market are less. So that means the tickets which were available or not available because of GoAir will be absorbed by the other airline, and probably the price of ticket would go up. In fact, it has already gone up. So which means to say that there is an interim problem, which means that a flow which was going, that means aeroplane flying, money coming, aircraft taking off, everything was happening smoothly. Suddenly there is a disruption. That means suddenly 25, 30, 40 aeroplanes which were flying, they have been stopped. They cannot fly. This is disruption. This disruption not only bad for the people who are flying, because the ticket price of tickets go up. More importantly, for the pilots. Suddenly if you release say 300 pilots into the market, even if the airlines want to absorb them, they cannot absorb all 300 pilots in one go. Because even if you take pilot today who are trained, type trained, flying, current, everything, they need to be retrained, or they need to be given the training as far as the company procedures are concerned, which are different from company to company. You have to go through that process. That means it will take another 30 days to 45 days for them to be available in the in the cockpit. Which means that suppose I am an airline, some other airline has stopped, I take people, I cannot take even 200 people in one go, okay, take them and then train them. I can train them at a certain rate, which suddenly because of a surge of pilots coming, I will not be able to, train them in one go. So either I pick them up, start their salary or probably do something and put them on ground. And if I do not want that, I'll take at a lesser rate. That means I'll take 50 guys now, train them. The moment I find 20, 25, 30 are off the market, I'll take another 50. Which means that this surge of pilots available in the market causes a kind of a stall, what you say, that the airflow coming and going up and down. Similarly, there are so many pilots available, they cannot smoothly get into the airlines. It takes a little time. It will take some time for them to settle down. With this kind of a scenario, which means that even if the GoAir comes back, or even if does not come back, the people will get absorbed, things will smoothen out, but the process which was ab initio pilot which were waiting that they are likely to be called, which gets stalled. That means it will stall by another 3 to 6 months. 6 months later, when these all things are happened and everything is smooth, even if the aeroplane of GoAir been taken by other people, other airlines, and the people have been trained, pilots have been trained, and everything starts smoothly, then they will look at the pilots who were in the offing. Which means that civil aviation as such, safe place to go. This kind of disruption does happen, it will happen, it does happen in any industry. Third thing, this interruption or disruption of certain surge of pilots will take some time, it will get smoothened out, and thereafter things will be back on normal. Only thing is that more and more pilots are getting trained or being available in the market, but their airlines will take some time to hire them and train them. So I can say that safely that it's a good place to be in. If you are in training or if you are planning to go for civil aviation, please do so. In the long run, it is still good. There is no change in the perspective. I always tell people, whenever there is a problem, look at 5 years, what is likely to happen, 3 years, 1 year and 6 months. So 6 months, maybe a little more of disruption. 1 year, it will not make a difference because people will still get hired. People will be looking for pilots. The only point is keep your skills intact. Keep honing your skills. And also, if you are planning to get into civil aviation, always look for two things. That is the level of training or the kind of training that you will have. Have a good place where you get good training. And secondly, is that you should be safe operations, either whether in training or later on whether a job is concerned. So with that, I finish this video. In case you have any questions or in case you need my help or this thing, my number is given below. You can give me a call or more importantly, give me a WhatsApp message. I shall either call you back or send you a reply to that. You can give me comments also that how did you find this video helpful or not, and any suggestions to improve it. So till my next video, Jai Hind.